Hey, what's up? It's Comic 95 The Savior, and for this video I want to talk once again about the controversial topic of fashion in Japan, what's acceptable to wear, just in general, and I'm going to speak of course on the perspective of being a foreigner here. So I saw a really interesting post that I saw inside of a forum that was giving advice for people that want to visit Japan. And I saw someone who was an actual resident living in Japan, actually longer than I have been. She's been here for over 10 years, according to what she said. And she's also married to a Japanese man. This is a white American woman. And she was basically telling everyone that it's okay to wear anything you want to, for the most part, with very few exceptions. So in a nutshell, she said, wear the shorts, wear the whatever, tattoos. Basically implied that everything, for the most part, she gave some things that are not okay, are okay for you to do underwear, and that Japanese people don't care. And she heavily tried to emphasize on her anecdotal, whatever advice by saying that because her father-in-law is Japanese and he's apparently old-fashioned, and if he had an issue with the way that she dresses or the way that she wears out her tattoos, he would definitely tell her. So based off of this experience, this white American woman is telling everyone that you can basically wear what you want to, show your tattoos, it's not disrespectful, because if it was something wrong with it, her traditional father-in-law would not do this. I'm not going to make this an hour video. I'm just going to make it a little bit long, but short for me. All I have to say to that is the most ignorant thing I've ever seen. I would never understand why foreigners are so, frustrated with the idea of having to cover a tattoo or to wear modest clothing. And it really kind of makes me sound like, what type of households that you all come from? Especially when it comes to the modest clothing part. You wouldn't question what you're supposed to wear if you go somewhere like the Middle East. Why do you need to have a gun or a knife to your head in order for you to decide, hey, you want to know what? I want to respect someone's culture. I want to assimilate and fit in with everyone. Why is everyone just trying to do whatever they do in their home country? And I find it interesting that people, I said this inside of another comment about wearing masks, people draw the line with two things in Japan, or shall I say three. And I'm talking like the extreme Japan worshippers and weeboos. And even the tourists that worship Japan, I think it's the most holy place in the world. They do not want to wear a mask. They do not want to dress modestly. And they do not want to cover tattoos. These are the three Japanese things they will absolutely not conform to. And I find it really interesting because these are the three easiest things to do. People will literally argue with you about why your experience of racism or bad care shrivels down to why, you need to learn Japanese, or it's your misunderstanding, or you should go back to your home country. But on these three topics, almost across the board, unanimously, everyone agrees with the fact that these three things are just okay to do. And I'm not here to give my own opinions on these things, etc. I totally understand. I can see both sides of it. But I'm just saying out of respect for the country. To be honest, I'm not really bothered by your tattoo. Do I like tattoos? No. Have I dated someone with tattoos? Actually, my first real boyfriend as an adult had a tattoo. But I'm just personally not for it. Did I want one before? Yeah, I did. And I don't judge people to have them, but just being realistic, I grew up being taught that if you get a tattoo, you're limiting the opportunities that you have in life. People that want to date you, friends, to make jobs, to work. Things are definitely a lot better now than our parents predicted them to be, but our parents are speaking based off of their own experiences, what they saw growing up, because tattoos were associated with gang members, bad people, rebellious people, etc., people that were fast, promiscuous, all those type of things. Same thing goes for me with, having nail color. I wasn't allowed to have, red nail polish or whatever, was associated with being a prostitute. It's just so many little things like that. So this isn't a matter to, start a whole debate on what you agree with, what you believe, etc. That's not what I'm going to get on. But what I am going to say to you is this. You've probably been told several times in your life that by getting these things, you're ruining your opportunities. I totally understand people being upset, I can't go to the onsen, or I can't go to this gym because of a tattoo. How stupid. Even though realistically, you just have to cover it up. Just buy a Band-Aid or whatever you got to do. Put some makeup on over it to cover it, wrap it up. Somebody can see it. So, and it's not even just a matter of staff asking you to leave, but you should want to do it out of respect for the country that you're in. And not even to use the saying, when in Rome do as the Romans do, but if you know that something is considered as disrespectful, how can you say that you love Japan and Japanese people when you refuse to respect them and be sensitive to their feelings, their needs, their presumptions, whatever you want to call it, assumptions, And it's not like they're asking you to, like, bleach your skin or something because you're black. They're asking you to wear modest clothing, which, to be honest, we all should be doing. I'm going to be honest with you. Do I love modest clothing for the most part? No. Of course, I want to wear clothing that's comfortable. But another thing that people have to remember is comfortable clothing doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be half naked where I can see your thong and whatnot. You can wear clothing that is loose-fitting, light, and still modest. I promise you don't need to have on a V-neck in order to keep from overheating. I promise you don't have to have on a belly, top, crop top, whatever, halter, whatever type of stuff. It's not necessary. That's all a whole other story. I have other videos talk about this. But what I do want to say is, please don't listen to people like this. First of all, as a foreigner, most people are not willing to confront you and tell you what you're doing is wrong. Whether it be your tone of voice, your actions, your behavior, the clothing that you're wearing, most people simply don't feel confident and are comfortable saying, hey, you're dressed inappropriately. And that includes friends and family members. In fact, I find it really surprising that your husband didn't bother to correct you, but I guess even in these circumstances, your spouse might not even feel comfortable. Secondly, keep in mind that it's a stereotype that foreigners dress slutty, especially you being an American. It's expected that you don't care about these things. So rather than people thinking that what you're wearing is acceptable in Japan, they're simply not telling you that what you're wearing is inappropriate because they've seen it all, they're used to seeing it, and you're not the first, last, or only foreigner, tourist, long-term resident to come here and dress or act the way that you do. That's the reality. It's not because what you're doing is okay. That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard of. So because no one tells you that you're wrong, you're right. What? Then also, like, she gave this example saying that her father-in-law is traditional because he doesn't even eat bread. I'm hoping she's exaggerating because, like, you are aware that bread is not just a Western thing. Like, Japanese people eat bread too. I know people that absolutely hate America, hate Chinese people, etc., but they love, Osaka Osho and whatnot. So that's a whole other story. But yeah, I'm just thinking to myself, like, these are the type of people you don't want to listen to. And I think it's really sad because a lot of people, when they come on here and they search for information about Japan, they look for people that are already in agreement with them. And this is why a lot of people hate my channel. They want to find someone that's going to tell them what they want to hear. They want to hear how wonderful and great Japan is, how awesome your experience is going to be, how awesome your life is going to be. And when they see me talk about real issues, racism, low salaries, discrimination, etc., it burst their little, their bubble, their weeboo bubble. They wanted Japan to be this sacred, holy place. And then when they find out that, oh my God, I might not get treated well. Oh my God, I'm going to be underpaid. Oh my God, these problems might happen to me. Instead of acknowledging that these problems are real, people like to brush it off and be like, oh, well, that was just your experience. And they have to tell you, like, their positive experience too. And so don't get me wrong. I'm not saying just because my experience something is bad, that yours has to be as well. But you get what I'm trying to say. These people aren't just sharing that they had a good experience. They want to discredit your bad one. And in this situation, instead of acknowledging the fact that for the most part, the overall majority of people that you see are definitely dressed modestly in comparison to those that are dressed immodestly, you want to focus on the fact that nobody has told you anything according to what you think. I don't know, you understand Japanese. Can you even hear people saying about you? Then secondly, not just that, let's say that nobody has said anything bad about you or around you. Do you have no female Japanese friends to tell you? Do you not go shopping at Japanese stores? Like, do you not, like, can you see? Like, seriously. And so this is no different than, like, I said this before, but like from a Japanese perspective, if I were to go online to Instagram or TikTok and I wanted to learn how to dress in the US, all I'm going to see is a whole bunch of slutty Shein outfits and Fashion Nova. Imagine if you thought that Fashion Nova outfits were appropriate to wear in your everyday to day life in the US. You would be in for a surprise because we would be looking at you, taking pictures, laughing, rolling our eyes, whispering about, oh my God, ain't she a mom? Why she wearing, her pussy out? We'd be saying all type of stuff about you because these outfits are not appropriate to wear. There's literally jokes in the comment section that aren't really jokes. People saying, like, where would you ever wear this dress? The entire outfit would be completely see-through. We don't dress like that. It's fashions online. Same thing goes with our music videos. In music videos, we got girls half naked, bras, panties, no bra, etc. Is it okay to walk outside like that? No. It's entertainment. And in this case, you also have to remember that a lot of people think they're experts, especially white people, just keeping it real, but a lot of y'all kind of wrong. The people that you're thinking are Japanese, and I hate to say this, I'm not trying to defend Japan or Japanese people, I'm just being real with you. 9 times out of 10, you're not looking at a Japanese person dressed inappropriately. They're probably Korean or Chinese, thus meaning that they are just as much of a foreigner as you are. They may not know the rules, and they may not care about them like how you clearly don't. And also, I want to also add on top of that, too. Again, Even if you see a Japanese person dressed this way, not only are they doing something that is not appropriate, breaking the rules, your French muffin mountain, you gonna do it too? You're also dealing with college students, teenagers, children that don't know any better and or that know better but have newfound freedom being able to wear whatever they want to. I promise you that what you're wearing is not appropriate, especially at a sacred place like a shrine and or a temple. If you want to do it, of course, go ahead. Nobody's going to stop you. But if you want to be respectful, please don't dress like this. You can dress appropriately for the summer without wearing a crop top, a halter, spaghetti strings, booty shorts. No one ever said shorts are bad to wear, but they should be long in length. They shouldn't be too short. And the reality is, for the most part, even when it comes to legs, I don't know where this rumor came from. Again, white people online. I'm sorry, white people that watch us. Keeping it real with you. It is not okay to show leg in Japan. I don't know where this rumor came from. It's not. If you wear short clothing, people will look at you. In fact, the places that you normally see women wearing short, skimpy clothing is in the skimpy, promiscuous cities of Ikebukuro, Roppongi, and Shibuya. You will almost never see women on a regular basis dressed like this outside. You're going to be able to count the women outside of these cities. It's not okay and normal to wear. And even in these cities, when you see girls dressed like this, they oftentimes have lots of men staring at them, creepy guys coming up to them, etc. It's not acceptable or okay to wear. A lot of these women want attention. They're trying to be cute and sexy because they're college students. It's the weekend or after school on a weekday. Just like how you have high school girls that roll up their skirts. Schoolgirl uniforms are not that damn short. They're doing it to be sexy, to be fast, to get the attention of boys, to act like grown women. They're having fun. They recognize they're feminine, they're young, they're women. They want to look sexy. They want you to see their legs. They have no idea about all the creeps that are out there looking at them, watching them, recording them, and getting off on the fact that these girls have their skirts all the way up to their panties practically, especially when it gets windy, when we're getting off trains, etc. That's all a whole other story, but I just want to say to you, just because you see people doing something doesn't mean it's okay to do. People rob people break into stores, people say and do bad things. Doesn't mean it's acceptable to do. Even if you see a lot of people doing it, does that mean it's okay or right? No. In fact, let me give you another example. It's kind of off subject. Most Japanese people think poorly of foreigners overall. They might not necessarily say it directly, but when you ask them about other countries, they ultimately think their country is better than everyone else's. And beyond just that, they think that they're more intelligent. They think that, basically, they wonder what's wrong with every other country. Why can't they be like Japan? Let me also add that this goes into fashion. The majority of Japanese people think that because their women dress modestly, they're not slutty. And you might stupidly believe this too, but if you're a foreigner that's been living in Japan for a long time, especially if you happen to be white, you probably know that that couldn't be further from the truth. Japanese women will go to bars, they will go to clubs, they will dance all over you, they will sleep with you, they will lie about being virgins. They do the same stuff that foreign women do. The difference is they do dress differently. And because of this, both Japanese women and Japanese men have duped themselves into believing they truly are a more modest, more intelligent, more respectful group of people. Which is really ironic, especially with the respect part, when a lot of the stuff they do is not authentic or genuine. It's just done out of formality. I gave this example a million times before. But it's just like how in America we ask, oh, how are you? And we greet people when they go into stores and whatnot. A lot of foreigners that come to the U.S. are shocked and they think that Americans are really friendly, really nice, when in actuality, how are you is just something that we say out of formality. We don't really care how you are. And if you go into detail about how you're having a bad day or even a really good one, it makes strangers or even people that you know somewhat uncomfortable. So going back into how you dress, a lot of Japanese men will literally talk down on foreign women, sleep with you, lie to you, persuade you, coerce you into sleeping with them, and they justify what they did by saying that foreign women are basically slutty. We love sex, we don't care about our bodies, we don't care about ourselves, and that's why we show skin and present ourselves that way. So when you come to Japan and you do this, you are literally reinforcing those stereotypes. They assume that because you dress like A, you must be B. And this brings me back to the Dave Chappelle skit where he talked about, if you were walking outside, dressed like a hoe, people gonna treat you like a hoe. If he went outside dressed in a cop uniform and someone ran up to him asking for help, it'd be really confusing because he looks like a police officer. So then, this person needs help. Well, you look like a slut. This person wants to, get their nut off or whatever. So I'm not excusing what Japanese people do. I'm just saying that what you're doing is feeding into a stereotype. I don't make the rules, I play by them. Trust me, I wish things were different. I'm just telling you the reality. So these same people that you're worshiping, think so highly of, they think pretty poorly of you. And you might think, oh, well, then that's why I should wear whatever I want to. No, how about we try to change that stereotype and show them that not only can we be respectful of other people's countries and cultures, but the way that we dress has nothing to do with what we think and what type of person that we are. And just as Japanese girls might dress modestly because they feel pressured and bullied into doing so, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're a modest person at heart and that they don't run around and live promiscuous lives, because most people do. Japanese people are not religious. They have no Christianity or Catholicism or whatever that's stopping them from having sex. The main reason why having sex and sleeping around is even looked at as being bad is because in American and Western culture, it's deeply rooted in Christianity and Catholicism or whatever. And thus both of these religions teach you about, waiting until you're married. They put a high priority on being a virgin. There's none of that stuff in Japan. In fact, the only reason why people care about it really is kind of the same situation. Stuff that's been passed on from Western cultures. And of course, the idea of a woman being pure due to sexist reasons, etc., blah, blah, blah. Most women here have been around the block and back, and they're lying to you. If you're dating a girl that's over the age of 25, the likelihood of her only having one partner is pretty much slim to none. Girls pretend to be virgins. They don't count foreigners that they've slept with. People all the time. People have STDs and pretend like they never had anything before. There's so much that goes into this. But long story short, all I have to say is this. When you dress that way, you're reinforcing a stereotype. People think that because you're a foreigner, you're easy because you dress slutty. Because in Japan, they've convinced themselves that because Japanese women don't dress slutty, they're not easy. They have respect for themselves. Do you want to make your country look bad? Think about these things. So, I'm done. I can go on and rant more and more. Let me get back to the video. Just want to throw that in here. And when you confront Japanese people with racism, prejudice, discriminatory issues here, they act blinded by it. Like, what racism? I don't do that. I don't know anybody that thinks that way. But if you sit down and listen to a conversation with them, talk to their friends and family, you'll hear them say racist things all the time. Talking negatively about Chinese and Korean people, talking about how they wouldn't date, don't want to be friends with people, even inside of dating profiles. I don't know, no Chinese, no Korean, no whatever. Things like that, you see it all the time. But these same people will turn around and play dumb with you and be like, what, racism? I don't know. I love Chinese food. I love Chinese people. I can speak Chinese. And just by talking to these people, you might think, wow, they really aren't. And so in this case, it's kind of a little bit of the reverse. I don't think this person's ever actually spoken to anybody besides her husband and father-in-law about what's appropriate. Not to mention, let me kind of go back because I'm getting all over the place here. You asked 2 men. I'm sorry, I just got to keep it real. What? Why would you get the opinion of men on what's okay to wear and what's not? Now, of course, you might think, well, they should know because they're the reason why we have to dress modestly in the first place, to protect ourselves from men. But at the same time, women are the ones you should be going to and asking, is it okay? How about you ask your mother-in-law if what you're wearing is acceptable? In fact, better yet, ask her, is it acceptable for me because I'm a foreigner, or are you saying this is acceptable for a Japanese woman to wear it to? And again, there are Japanese girls that are out there that do that. But does it make it okay to wear, to do? No. I don't understand what's so hard for people to wrap their mind around this. Just dress modestly. Modestly means I cannot see the outline of your breasts, your waist, your butt, etc. Your clothing is loose forming, loose fitting, etc. If you don't know what to wear, you can literally walk down the street and look at the average Japanese person. Not the girl in the booty shorts, not the girl with her, belly top. I'm talking about the average person. What do you see most people wearing? They're wearing maxi dresses, maxi skirts, long dresses. They have on long sleeves, sweaters. Their arms are covered. Their neckline is covered. No deep scoops, etc. I have no idea why people play dumb about this. And then it's interesting because foreigners are so observant of, oh, Japan is so clean and so whatever. People are so polite, so kind, and blah, blah, blah. And it's okay. Can we talk about how people are so modest? Y'all don't see that part, though. So, and again, if it were up to me, I don't agree with all of these rules entirely. For example, I can admit that there are some downsides to this over-modest type thing. For example, I am a curvy woman. I have large breasts, and honestly, I feel really uncomfortable if I do wear sexy clothes because it gives me more attention than I'm used to getting, more attention than I want to have. Even without wearing tight-fitting clothes, just wearing regular clothing, I get a lot of attention because I'm a foreigner, because I'm viewed as attractive, because I have a curvaceous body. All these different things give me attention. I would not want to draw more onto myself. And I will also add another thing that adds to this as well. Being curvy and or being a foreigner, period, automatically makes anything that you wear sexy. I've talked about this on my channel a few different times. And so for this reason, you actually should be dressing more modest than the average Japanese girl. People will find an outfit that you're wearing to be sexy because you have large breasts, whereas a girl that has, A-cup breasts, nobody's going to pay her any mind. But because you're a blonde woman, it's sexy. Because you have, triple D, breasts, it's sexy. So you have to really be mindful of these things. So I'm not trying to really, go in and dig in on this person, but I am a little bit upset. It's like, why are you telling people bad information? You've been here for, a decade plus. You should know better. Then it made me even more upset that a Japanese woman had chimed in the comment section and said, please, and this is, ignorant. She said, please don't tell people this because it's not right. It's not true. Please dress modestly. Please dress respectful. This is not okay to wear. And instead of being like, oh, really? I'm sorry. I didn't know that. The white girl doubled down on what she had to say and insisted that her father-in-law was traditional and old-fashioned, and that if what she was wearing is wrong, he would definitely tell her. I'm sorry that you don't have people that trust you, care about you, love you enough in your life to tell you the truth. But the reality is what you're wearing is inappropriate. So, and again, a lot of people just aren't fazed or bothered by it because, again, it's a stereotype. People expect you to dress slutty. People expect you to not care about being offensive, to not care about being seen as, looking like you out there. Because also stereotype that foreign women are promiscuous. Foreign women love sex. Foreign women are out there. So what you're doing just ties back into what they already believe. So that's the reason why nobody's correcting you. So long story short, I've made other videos talking about this. I don't know if I'm going to post a video before or after this, but there will be, if there isn't already, a video in which I talk about, what is okay to wear or not. You can literally go into most clothing stores. Don't just look at, oh, they're selling this, so it's okay to wear in Japan. Because I saw another dumb comment about this too. Just because something's being sold doesn't mean it's okay to wear. Fashion Nova sells see-through sheer dresses that you can wear to a wedding. I'm sorry, if you came to my wedding like that, you would be escorted out. So, you get what I'm trying to say. There's people that wear outfits like that for New Year, but is this okay? Normal? Would you wear that around a child? No, you should not and would not. Okay, well, just because you see the side of a store doesn't mean that this is okay to wear. Use your brain. Look at what the overall fashion looks like inside the store. If you go into Uniqlo, GU, Zara, you will see that most of the clothing pieces are fairly modest. You'll see a few pieces that are a little bit, out there slutty, but for the most part, you're not going to see a lot of, thin, short clothing, etc. Almost everything will be long in length and are made to be layered. There are not going to be tons of pieces that show really revealing clothing. Whereas in the US, you'll find a good mixture of that. You'll find a lot of, V-necks, scoop necks, halter tops, etc. So this kind of lets you know that, of course, more out there clothing, more, revealing clothing is okay to wear. But it doesn't mean that everything that you see in a US store is okay. Likewise, Japan is the same. Look at the overall theme inside of the store. Most clothing is very modest. Thus, you should be dressing like this. And before I get off, I forgot what I was going to say after that, but I just want to say one more thing. The idea if you're dressing modestly is not because you're trying to be seen as Japanese. It's because you want to respect Japanese people, Japanese culture, and Japan as a whole, as itself. And to be honest, especially if you're a black person, you probably get this more easily than white people probably do. Sorry, white people got to pick on you, but just being real, this is harder for you to understand. As minorities, you always know that your goal, your job is to try to make your race look good, to defy, break barriers, stereotypes, etc. It's not fair, but it's a job that we kind of have to do. You don't have to, but you should. Okay, and this is why we care for those, I don't care, I do whatever I want to. This is why we care about black accents. This is why we care about black love. This is why we care about being, the first black person to do whatever. It's because we want to look good to other people. Otherwise, why do we care about a black person doing something? I'm black too. It's because we know it's representation to other people and fellow black people too. But ultimately, we want to show other people, hey, we're smart too. Hey, we're capable of doing this too. Hey, we can have, good marriage too. That's what this is all about. Okay. With that said, it's the exact same thing for this. You dressing modestly is not because you want to be seen as Japanese. I've seen both black and white people, and I think even Hispanic people, give the argument of, I'm not going to be seen as Japanese anyway, so I'm going to dress however I want to. I'm going to say whatever I want to. I'm going to do whatever I want to. I don't care if this isn't okay to do in Japan. I'm a foreigner, I'm going to use my gaijin card. And it's like, you're literally buying into and reinforcing a stereotype that we don't care about other people's countries. We're ignorant. We don't respect rules. We don't want to learn the language. We don't want to dress modestly. We're slutty. You're literally reinforcing that stereotype when you do that. Whatever you choose to do in your home country, behind closed doors, online, whatever. For example, when I'm at home, I dress like a hoe. Okay, that's what I want to do. But when I go outside, you'll catch me for once in a while. But for the most part, when I go outside, I don't dress that, and I'll never tell people to do. Even if you catch me slipping up and I got on a V-neck, you'll never hear me tell somebody, "Oh, this is okay to do," because nobody says anything. I can guarantee you that 9 times out of 10, when I've worn inappropriate clothing, nobody said anything to me directly. But I can always see people smiling, looking, staring, trying not to. Sometimes taking pictures, video. It happens. And even if I don't see it, do I have to pretend like I don't notice that, almost every woman around me, even though it's 99 degrees outside, has on a long sleeve dress? Some of these girls wearing sweaters. These girls' dresses so long, I can't even see their ankles. Why do I have to pretend like because nobody came up to me, bullied and harassed me, that what I'm doing is okay? Why? I really don't get that. And then the fact that you're trying to use the fact that your father-in-law and your husband, 2 men that are also close and related to you and probably afraid to tell you the truth, aren't willing to correct you. Do they have tattoos? So I'm assuming your father-in-law does it because you say it's traditional or whatever. But I was thinking to myself, like, your father-in-law probably doesn't feel like it's appropriate to say anything. And believe it or not, a lot of men don't even understand and know all the little rules about fashion, about what is and isn't appropriate, acceptable, etc. If they're smart, they oftentimes do. But a lot of men don't. They don't care. They don't notice, etc. However, I'm pretty sure your father-in-law and or at least your brother do notice. They just, your brother, your husband, they just don't feel comfortable saying anything to you, or they don't care. Or in fact, some of them even like the attention they get. For example, some men like seeing you dress sexy because it makes them feel like, they scored good, they married well or whatever, they got a hot, attractive wife. So do keep that in mind too, that their motives might be ulterior, or they're just afraid of telling the truth, or they simply don't care. They think, oh, well, you're an American, dressing slutty is a part of your culture, is what it really comes down to. So again, the goal is not to look or be Japanese, it's to respect them. And to be honest, to a certain extent, since you do live here, you kind of should be trying to. It's no different than being in America. I think it's weird people that want to live abroad in another country and then have no interest in assimilating. It just kind of comes with moving abroad. If you don't want to assimilate, you don't want to learn the language, you don't want to dress the way they do, you don't want to live a life the way that they do, why are you living here? I literally don't get people like that. It'd be like going to the US saying, I don't want to speak English, I don't want to eat American food, I don't want to do anything, based on how, Americans, function with our relationships, socially, thinking, etc. You don't want to assimilate, change anything that you do at all. You are convinced that you want to live here, but you want to keep things the way that they were in your home country. It's like, that's not the way that real life works. I don't get that. So, whatever, I'm done. I'm going on a nearly 30-minute video, but that's all. Please do not use your relatives as examples of what to dress like. Please do not use the, oh, well, nobody's ever said anything, so it's okay. I can think of plenty of things nobody's ever corrected me on, and it wasn't okay, including speaking Japanese. I gave my infamous story about how I didn't know ima from Ijo, and I made that mistake so many times, and really nobody corrected me. I finally heard, no, I think the waiter did correct me, but not directly, oh, you're supposed to say this. He copied me, and I realized he didn't copy me. He said the right thing after I said the wrong thing, and then I was like, oh, it's Ijo that after you finish ordering, not ima. It's kind of rude. I'm saying, bitch, give it to me now. So you get what I'm trying to say? I thought I was right. So by your standard, because no one ever corrected me, what I'm doing is okay. I'll give you another example. I just learned, I'm going into my 7th year here, I just learned that apparently it's not good to walk around smelling like food in Japan. I thought that was a good thing, because in the US, you go around smelling like barbecue, people go like, just get through it, you smell good, okay? In Japan, that's not okay to do. If you walk around smelling like yakiniku, yakitori, etc., you might think you smell good, but the people around you think, stinky asshole, smelling like smoking barbecue. My brain cannot understand this, because the American in me is like, I want to ask, where do you eat at? Where do you eat at? I want to go there. That's my question to you. But from a Japanese perspective, they want to get away from you. You stink, you smell bad, you reek. It's no different from smelling like alcohol. I was shocked. And at first I was thinking, it's just my husband's opinion. We don't know. His father said the same thing. I recently went to a barbecue, and when, I told his father that I was planning to actually make fajitas to bring, he was concerned about people being upset by the smell that the Shinkansen was going to have. And I was thinking, what? And so, of course, I believed my husband. But, it's just like that extra, that hammer inside of it was like, he's telling the truth. And so you can search this on your own. And so even like with the fashion, just do a Google search on your own. It's not that damn hard. It's not about what we like, what we want, we believe in. It's not my opinion. It's not your opinion. It's Japan's. Respect the country, respect the culture. It's a reasonable request. They're not asking you to remove your breasts. They're not asking you to change your eye color to, darken or bleach your skin or cut your hair or dye your hair. All they're saying is wear modest clothing. If you having a tattoo, it's seen as bad. Just cover it up. Your tattoo is not legitimately you. You made it a part of yourself. You weren't born that way. It's a very simple solution. I don't understand why this gets people so, riled up, upset, etc. So it's all another story. I have other videos on this topic. So that's all for right now. If you did enjoy this video, please give me a like. If you have any questions, comments to ask, please leave them in the comment section down below. You can also send me an email with any video ideas that you do have. I upload a video I try to do every day at 8 a.m. My schedule's been a little bit off recently, but I talk about Japan, Japanese culture, Japanese problems, news, media, things. So yeah, if you want to hear more about things going on in Japan, get my input, my takes on things, please subscribe here. If you haven't already, like this video, leave a comment. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can also check out my YouTube channel's homepage. I have playlists on everything: dating, working, studying, living in Japan. I've probably already answered your question there, so please be sure to check out my YouTube channel and go to my homepage, and you can find playlists on all of those topics there. Otherwise, if you would like to support my channel, I'd really appreciate it if you consider joining Patreon or becoming a YouTube member. YouTube membership offers scrap videos I decide just not to upload, make public, and other little random videos. Whereas Patreon is journal videos. You can hear about my personal life, get to know me better as a friend. Patreon is $5 per month, so please do not sign up unless you can afford it. YouTube membership is about $2 per month, and I upload randomly there. It's normally about 2 videos per month, random topics, random things, random length. Totally random. It's just to help support my channel. So that's all for this video. You can also follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Comic95. I have a Snapchat and TikTok at Comic the Savior, a Facebook fan page at Comic95 the Savior, and a blog at Comic95.com. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you for watching, and I hope you'll watch another video.